After Bitcoin saw a little bit of a decline, we're now seeing a little bit of a bounce to the top side, and today we could see another huge move unfolding for Bitcoin. In this video I'm going to tell you exactly what we can expect for Bitcoin in the coming day and how the markets will react when we see this next move happening. There are a lot of interesting information which I will share with you in this video. There's also a lot of interesting data and news coming into the market, and I will discuss everything with you in this video, and you will be prepared for what's coming today. I'm also going to have a look at the two altcoins Solana and Chainlink, but about that later in the video. So you definitely want to watch this video all the way to the end because you don't want to miss anything. Please leave a like because it will help this channel a lot, and let's dive right into the charts. On the 4-hour time frame we can see that Bitcoin created a huge pump to the top side after we broke the resistance area, and this horizontal resistance area was getting retested as support twice, and it was very beautiful to see because the support area is showing a lot of strength. So in the coming hours and days we could potentially see that Bitcoin is coming back to this support area, and then we have to show some strength again. But for now we can also see that Bitcoin is showing a little bit of strength, and we can see on the 4-hour time frame a little bit of a green candles unfolding. So this is looking very bullish, but of course we also see that we're creating higher highs and higher lows. So Bitcoin is actually still in this uptrend. So we could just see a continuation of the bullish momentum to the top side. And if Bitcoin is going to create a new higher high, that means that we will also create a new all-time high, because the last all-time high was around here, and it was around $104,000. And as I was saying, Bitcoin is still in a huge uptrend, and yesterday we also saw that Bitcoin was bouncing from this huge support area, and this upward sloping support area is unfolding on the 4-hour chart. And we can see this uptrend is already in place since the beginning of November, so it's already for 1 month happening, and this uptrend is looking very strong. And as I said yesterday, we saw a bounce from the support level again, so this is looking very bullish. And let's see if we can see another separation of this level, that we're going to create a new higher high, and that Bitcoin is just continuing the bullish uptrend to the top side. But however, there's also a bearish scenario possible, because eventually every time we test this level it becomes a little bit weaker, and that means that Bitcoin could also see a break of the support level, a retest of the support to test it as resistance, and then we have to aim for lower targets. And then the lower side of this uptrend will be confluent with the breakdown target, and that will be around $86,000. So this could be the bearish scenario that could play out for Bitcoin in the coming days. But of course we want to see the separation of this huge support area, and that Bitcoin is going to show more strength and create a new all-time high in the coming weeks. And yesterday the Bitcoin ETF showed another interesting day. We saw a total inflow of $438.5 million, and that was because BlackRock and Fidelity were buying like crazy, and they bought more than $500 million in total for Bitcoin. And we can see that Grayscale was selling a little bit of their portion of BTC, so this is nothing to worry about, of course. And we can see that the spike to the top side in this total cumulative inflow is still happening, so this is insane, of course. And we're now coming closer to the 35 billion in total cumulative inflow, so let's see if we can reach the 35 billion this week already. And if we have a look at the Ethereum ETFs, we can see they had one of their best days ever. We saw a 305.7 million of total inflows, and this was all because BlackRock and Fidelity, especially Fidelity, was buying like crazy. So this is what we want to see, and there we are now coming closer to the $2 billion of total cumulative inflow for the Ethereum ETFs. So let's see what the rest of the week will bring us. And looking at the 4-hour time frame, we can see that Bitcoin is also creating this huge downward sloping support line, and this is looking very strong because it was acting as resistance in the past, and now we broke it to the top side. We retested this as support, and we now are retesting it again as support. So from these touch points as support, you could have entered the market in a long, because as I'm always saying, you have to wait for a confirmation of the break, which was around here. Then you can wait for a retest, and at the bullish retest you can enter the market in a long. And for now we are seeing a separation of this support area. So for instance, we could see more topside continuation from here, and that Bitcoin is going to create a new all-time high, and also that we're going to see a new higher high on the charts, and that of course will be very bullish. And as I was saying, we are still in this huge uptrend, so let's see what Bitcoin can do in the coming days, and if we're going to create a new higher high, that will be very bullish, of course. But of course, as I was saying, there's also a bearish scenario possible that we're going to break below this support area again and retest it as resistance. And if we're going to see this bearish retest, so a resistance test, then you can aim for lower targets and you can just enter the market in a short. And yesterday we had also very interesting news coming in, and that the Microsoft shareholders vote against Bitcoin investment proposal. So the shareholders of Microsoft voted against the Bitcoin investment as a strategic reserve, and I think this will be very bad for Microsoft, because we can see that the companies who invest in Bitcoin are most likely going to succeed in the future. So I think Microsoft will come back to this in the future, and eventually I think they will just buy more Bitcoin. And we also had an article coming in that Trump is going to focus on Bitcoin during his presidency. We have the first pro-Bitcoin president in the US, so this is insane, of course, and I've never been more bullish than this. So let's see what Trump will be doing in the coming 4 years and if he's going to make his words come true. And if we zoom out on the daily time frame, we can see that Bitcoin is still in this huge uptrend with higher highs and higher lows, and we created this higher high and higher low. And now, of course, we also created an all-time high, which was a new high. And now we can see that Bitcoin is still creating this higher low. So we are still in this huge uptrend. But of course, this is a little bit of a rising wedge formation, which is actually a little bit of a typical bearish biased pattern. So we could see a little bit of a break to the downside and see a little bit of a correction. And that, of course, will be very healthy. But of course, we want to just see a continuation of the bullish uptrend, and that Bitcoin is just going to create new higher highs and new all-time highs. And as I'm always saying, the trend is your friend until it ends. So let's see what Bitcoin can do in the coming days. We just want to see a new all-time high unfold, of course. But keep in mind that we could also see a little bit of a rejection happening. And if Bitcoin is coming to this green box of accumulation, you can be entering the market again for Bitcoin. And if we're going lower, there are multiple other very interesting regions where you can buy more Bitcoin. And in my previous videos, I stated this price target for Bitcoin. And around this level, I think I'm very much interested in buying more Bitcoin. And also around this level. And around the $76,000, there's still a CME gap open. And if Bitcoin is coming all the way back to this $76,000 and close the CME gap, I'm going to buy heavily into Bitcoin. And looking at the Bitcoin stock to flow model, we can see that Bitcoin is trying to create this new exponential move to the top side, just like we saw in the last bull markets. We are now seeing the separation of this median price again. So let's see if Bitcoin can come to this next median price. And according to the stock to flow model, we will see a median price for Bitcoin this cycle of more than $400,000. So of course, this is an insane target. And if we have a look at the charts, we can see that Bitcoin is separating itself from this previous all-time high. And now we can see that we are separating itself from this support level, just like we saw in the last cycle. So if Bitcoin can just continue the bullish uptrend and create a huge similar move, just like in the last cycles, we could see levels around the $400,000 according to the stock to flow model. So let me know in the comments what your price prediction is for Bitcoin and what your cycle top prediction is for Bitcoin in this cycle. And yesterday we had some interesting news coming in, and the investors in Argentina are going to get access to BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF. So this is insane. We have more money coming into the market. So this is very good for the crypto market in general. And just like MicroStrategy, we also have a company, Mara Holdings, buying another $1.1 billion in Bitcoin. And they now bought for more than 1.7 Bitcoin in the last month. So this is insane. And they are just DCAing, just like MicroStrategy. And I think this is the future. And if a lot of other companies are going to follow their example, the price of Bitcoin will shoot up, and we will see a lot of buying pressure coming into the market. So this is having a very positive effect on the price of Bitcoin. And the first interesting altcoin I want to have a look at is Chainlink. We can see that Chainlink broke a lot of interesting resistance levels after we were in this huge bear market lows. We finally broke bullish, we retested this resistance as support, and then we saw a continuation of the price. We retested this support again. So after we saw a bullish break last week, we are now also retesting this previous resistance as support. So this is looking very, very bullish. And now we can paint this level green because it has been turned into support. And let's see on the weekly time frame what the next levels for Chainlink are. We can see there's a lot of interesting resistance around this level. So this is the next make or break level for Chainlink. And we are already seeing a little bit of rejection. But after this retest, we can see a bullish retest, and then we can maybe see a continuation of the bullish uptrend to the top side. So if Chainlink is going to break above this huge resistance area, we could potentially see a retest of the resistance to test as support, and from there we can just aim for higher targets. And then of course we can also aim for a new all-time high. And the previous all-time high was around here, and it was around the $38. So we are currently at the $22, so that's less than a 100% increase. And I personally think that Chainlink will hit levels around the $100 in this coming bull cycle. So let me know in the comments, do you hold Chainlink in your portfolio, and what do you think about Chainlink in the future? And the next interesting altcoin I want to have a look at is Solana. We can see that Solana was in this huge consolidation formation with multiple touch points on the top side as resistance, and also we can see a lot of touch points on the lower side as support. And finally this price of Solana was getting squeezed into its apex, and we saw a huge breakout to the top side. We came back to this huge resistance area, which was very confluent with the previous all-time high, as we can see here on the weekly chart. And this weekly chart is showing that Solana made a new all-time high 4 weeks ago. But of course, after this huge consolidation and this huge breakout, we didn't even see a retest of this resistance to turn into support. So if Solana is coming back to this level and test this resistance level as support, I'm very much interested in buying more Solana for the long term. Or you can just spot buy order, or you can just leverage trade Solana at this level. Because I think if Solana is coming back to this level, this would be a very interesting bullish retest that we're going to make. And of course, I also think that Solana is going to create more higher highs and more new all-time highs in the coming weeks and months. So Bitcoin is now coming back to the $98,000 again, and we're very close again to the $100,000. So this week we could see the $100,000 getting reached already. You can join my free Telegram group with the link in the description under this video. Please leave a like if you think the video was useful, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.